Hi guys, welcome to this tutorial on how to use the Head Kandy Straightner 2.0. So let's go ahead and jump right in. At the beginning of the video, I went ahead and already had the straightener plugged in and I turned it on, and I'm currently waiting for it to heat up to 450 degrees. And as you can see, it heated up extremely fast to 450 degrees in just a few seconds, and now it is ready for me to use. So first things first is I'm going to go ahead and take my messy bun out, and I'm going to spray some heat thermal protectant spray all over my hairs because I want to keep these golden locks as healthy and safe from the heat as possible. This is definitely a very important step, and I just kind of pretty much just spray it all over, and then I go ahead and take my brush and I'm going to brush it through to kind of distribute it equally throughout my hair. Also, I have very curly, very tangled, very knotty hair, and so I really want to make sure that I get all the tangles out, because the number one important thing about using a Head Kandy Straightner brush is there cannot be any tangles in your hair. So now that all my tangles are out, I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of my Dr. Pepper, get ready for this video, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my scrunchie and I'm just going to split my hair into two sections. So I have a top section and a bottom section. We're going to be, of course, working on the bottom section first, just like you would originally straighten your hair. Nothing too crazy special about that. Now, I attempted to do a cute bun, but let's be honest, I can never do a cute bun when I'm straightening my hair. If you have tips on how to get it to look cute, please leave it down below. Your girl could use some help. So now that I have my bun on top of my hair, I'm going to just go ahead and take my brush, which is indeed a wet brush. I absolutely love the wet brush. I feel like it works best for my type of hair. And I'm going to split it into two sections in the back. So the first section, I'm just going to really brush through, again, just make sure that there is no tangles in my hair, because I definitely want my straightener to perform to the best that it can, and also I want to make it go as quickly as possible. So now I'm taking my straightener, and I'm going to go ahead and push the top plus button and the bottom minus button at the same time. Hold it for a few seconds, and that goes ahead and locks the heat temperature into place, so then you can bump it, and it's not going to change it at all. Yep, take another sip of the addicting Dr. Pepper, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and place the straightening brush underneath my hair. There's a few different methods that you can do, which I will show you throughout the video, but this one is my favorite, and I'm going to basically push the hair to the back of the brush, which is where the heat plate is, and I'm going to slowly pull it down my hair. You don't really want to tug too hard, because of course that'll damage your hair, but you also want to put enough pressure that it is definitely getting heat. So that is just with one swipe. There's the comparison. Now, as you can see, I actually did not get the top of my hair, and so we're going to get that in a little bit. I really like to focus on kind of mid-ear and below first, and I love to kind of pause at my ends just to make sure that that is really sealed in, because that is my most curliest places. And then I'm going to go back and hit those top pieces. The nice thing about the Head Kandy Straightner is even if you touch your ear, you're actually not touching the hot plate versus like a straightener. And so it will not hurt or burn your skin, which is always nice. Your girl likes that. So here I am just making sure that I have all of the curly pieces gone. And then I'm going to take my regular brush and just kind of brush it through. And there is the comparison. So that was just a few swipes, nothing major. So now I am going to go ahead and do the other side of my hair. So there is two different ways that you can straighten your hair with the Head Kandy straightening brush. On the left side, as you guys saw, I went from putting the brush underneath my hair, pushing it through the plate, and pulling it that way. This side, I'm actually going to do the other direction to kind of show you guys both ways. I believe that this side is maybe a little bit easier for beginners to work with, because it is just like brushing your hair. You're going to go from the top and you're literally just going to brush down. The only reason I don't sometimes like using this method is, as you can see, I did miss a little section. So sometimes I don't fully get all the sections, but it still is really easy to comprehend because you're just brushing your hair, which is kind of the whole point of the Head Kandy brush straightener. So I'm going to go ahead and just brush down. Still really make sure to pause at your ends, and still make sure to push the hair to the back plate so that it is getting the full heat that it is supposed to be getting. Sometimes the pieces in the back are a little bit harder, so like I said, I'm really just going to push them down and kind of pause and then go down to make them nice, slick, and smooth. So now I have the whole bottom layer done, and I'm just going to do a quick little brush to make it nice and soft. And in case you're wondering why I'm dancing and moving around so much, this is my every single day routine. I use the Head Kandy Straightener absolutely every single day, so I'm also listening to music and kind of getting ready for the day, which is why I'm jamming out. So now I'm going to take my top layer down, and pretty much the top layer is going to be the same as the bottom layer, but there's a few more tricks that I'm going to have to use to be able to get a little bit more volume to my hair, which I will show you. So I'm going to go ahead and just part my hair like I would normally just to make sure that I have all of the hair from the back pulled to the front. So I'm going to go ahead and put my right side up into a ponytail just to make sure that it is out of the way. You can also use like clips or something if you don't have scrunchies or ponytails. I just absolutely am obsessed with scrunchies, so I tend to use them for pretty much everything. So the back part of my hair is probably the hardest part for me to get with any type of straightener. I definitely believe that it's easier with the brush than an actual straightening iron, but it is still kind of difficult for me to get. I feel like my pieces back there just have dreams to stay curly for the rest of their life, and so whenever I try to straighten them, they're kind of like, nah, I'm gonna stay curly. So I am gonna go ahead and part it into two different sections so I can focus on the back part first. It still only takes a few swipes. I decided to kind of go from underneath the hair. Sometimes I go on top, and also I'm gonna kind of pull the hair more up because that is what is going to help create the volume. So I don't like my hair to be too volumized, but I also don't want it really flat to my hair. For having curly hair, I pretty much have flatter hair than most people with curly hair would have. But in saying that, if you do want it to be more volumized, then just go ahead and pull the hair even higher up and brush it out that way. So again, I'm just going to repeat the process, really making sure to go nice and slow. This part of my hair is pretty straight naturally, so I'm pretty much just going to go ahead and brush through it after. This was just one swipe. So now I'm just brushing through it so that it is getting hit again, but also not making sure that it's going through the whole process as I was doing before. So kind of with these pieces, to really get them to kind of work, the pieces that are closest to my hair. I don't know about you guys, but those baby hairs, if you have curly hair, those baby hairs curl themselves. So it's definitely stressful, and sometimes with the straighten iron, when I would straighten them, they would literally stick straight out and I would look like the devil or like buffalo horns. I don't know. They just did not necessarily work. So definitely when you get your Head Kandy Straightener, it's really nice because like I had mentioned before, the sides of the Head Kandy Straightener are not hot. It's just the back plate that is hot. So you can really push and kind of turn your wrists to go with the direction that your hair is going to make sure to get them. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put my bangs on top of my head because that's the part that I pretty much want the most volumized. So we're going to work on that here in a second. Rocking yet another lovely look. Yeah, buddy. So here I'm kind of showing you guys what a candy section is and what a straightening section is. So the nice thing about a Head Kandy Straightener is they like to promote on their website and on their Facebook page that with a Head Kandy Straightener you can use candy sections and not straightening sections, which is why you have seen me throughout the entire video use really big sections versus just a little straightening section. This is just pretty much because the Head Kandy brush is a lot bigger than a straightener, and also it can hold more hair into it, and it can fully get every single piece of hair versus like a straightening iron. So in saying that, that's the reason why I like to go so much slower, because I really do have a lot of hair that I'm putting in the Head Kandy brush, and I want to make sure that it fully gets it. Sometimes I do have to go over it a few times, but for the most part, it does a really good job. So when you're using the Head Kandy brush, try to use candy sections and not straightening sections. It makes the process go faster, and it almost works better. Now I'm pretty much just doing any final touches to this side that I want. I am going to go ahead and show you kind of how I'm hitting those top pieces. I really love this brush because that was the hardest place for me to get with my straightener, was kind of this top part and then the back top part. It was hard for me to see. I always had to ask people if I fully got it. It just was super stressful for me, and it seemed to take forever. No matter how many times I hit it with my straightener, it just would never fully go. Might just be my hair, but if you also felt me there, let me know, because it was stressful. So with the Head Kandy brush, I literally just use it like a regular brush in the back, and I feel like it really gets it. So now we're going to go ahead and focus on the bang part. So I'm just going to go ahead and brush it out, make sure that there's no tangles, and I will hit those little baby pieces here in a bit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to brush my hair up. As you can see, I'm going from underneath. In the first few swipes, I went ahead and went up, and now I'm kind of just turning the brush. This adds just a little bit of volume there, as you can see. And then I'm just going to go ahead and smooth it out. And voila, that is the completed look using the Head Kandy Straightner brush. I absolutely love this brush so much, and it definitely makes straightening my hair go a lot faster, a lot easier, which I love.